So when you work on the side, you never want to go on the profiles, the spine itself. Always work on either side, no matter where you're working on the body. But you want to stay on the side. And there's a little divot in here which you'll be able to feel.
Between your shoulder blade and your back.
Yes. But even when you're down here, there'll be usually a little divot the way the muscles, unless someone is very heavy, but even fat tissue does not go on the spine itself. It goes around the spine.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
So, except here. Here you can get, as you know with me, a bulk of fat going across the spine, but you won't see that anywhere down the back. But one of the things that's interesting is the shoulders should come around the spine and the chest cavity. And in most people, especially with age, that doesn't happen. Either the shoulders are coming forward because of the roundness in the back that's going on, or just life experiences, but the shoulder gets kind of rigid. So it's very similar like you are with working with the back of just pushing in, but this time now the hand's just lightly on the shoulder. And you're just looking to see about the shoulder starting to rotate around the spine and the chest cavity. So notice I'm not like pulling your shoulder back. I'm just usually, basically almost just using the weight of my hand. But what I'm also doing though, I'm not just pushing directly into the back this way. What I'm doing is I'm pushing down and lightly trying to rotate the vertebrae.
So you're just pushing it with your knuckles like that?
No, I'm actually the tips of my fingers. So now you can only do so much, and right now your shoulder doesn't want to come behind the spine. You can feel still the bit in the clavicle. Your shoulder blade, everything here, and the width of your shoulder is sinking as it relaxes. So now I'm going to go forward, doing the same kind of. But I'm never, it's a very subtle move, but I never go one hand more than the other. So if the right hand or the left wants to stop, then I stop the movement. Like here, I can only get this far going forward. And then I'm just going to come back and see if that made any difference. So now right here, where I have a direct line from the top of the scapula and the clavicle, I'm just really going to put a little bit of direct pressure down into the spine. down into the spine again. Nice. One second. So now I'm going to come in down and secure the arm and come around the shoulder and the neck. And all I'm going to do is rotate the neck and the shoulder. But when I say rotate the neck, as you can tell, I'm barely touching the neck. And then I'm just going to come back and see if that made any difference. And I'm back to going forward with both hands. And now I'm going to come in and hold the base of the scapula, almost right below it. Switch, now it's just my thumb. And my other thumb is also in between here. And push up with the scapula and down into the spine. And just notice how when I go in, I'm kind of waiting for a breath cycle to happen, and then I'm coming back out. I don't do a rocking. A lot of people tend to want to do a rock. I only do that at the very end when I know I have a lot of movement going on. But getting underneath here is just where a lot of muscles really want to hang out underneath the scapula in the back. Don't work too hard. So just feel as I press with my right hand how it's a twist underneath into the rib cage. But it's underneath the shoulder blade. And even though my left hand at this point is not doing much, if it's not here, it's just a different movement. I just find having two hands on the body make just such a difference on the quality of the movement.
Okay.
Are you comfortable?
Yeah, I was just moving my arms like you can fall.
No, I'm just, in general, your neck and everything,
Yeah.
you're okay?
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of your arm, it's a real subtle movement. I still have the base of the movement is still in regards to the upper thorax where I'm working, but I'm just going to start at the elbow, and as I go into the thorax, I'm just going to be lightly twisting through the elbow. Thorax works on a couple of things. It's the whole rotation through the shoulder, and also how someone's vestibular, if they're holding the arm, really affects how they hold themselves up through the upper back. Really helps with that balance too in this position, and the rotation rolling over. The elbow should be able to look for the ground. And then you can rotate the arm up. It's a little bit more difficult. You've got to find a nice balance point to come in of someone's arm just to do a nice lift. If it's hard at this point, someone's back gets too heavy, then you want to come in. It's a flat fingered, and then where you're lifting the elbow and the back at the same time. And with this too, you can almost follow through with the thumb. You can really feel now how much nicer the shoulder can move around the chest cavity. And in general, I really like to make sure all this is going on first before I even think about lifting someone's arm or testing the whole rotation of the shoulder. You want the mechanism to look like this in the rotation prior to lifting the arm up. And also, even though you can see how much the shoulder's working now, a lot of people would go and jump to something else, which you could, but when I have the chance, I really like to continue and just do a lot of detailed work in the area that someone's got problems with. So now the last bit is going back to the same spot where we started, and almost like you're lightly lifting through the elbow at the same time that you're lifting up through the mid-back. Even though I'm, quote, touching the profiles, the force is still going through the side of the profile. Notice I'm not going the forward and back. I'm doing that whole upper rotation as if you were throwing something.